I'm Nita and welcome to my channel. I haven't posted in a very long time because I've been super busy with a newborn. Christmas is coming up and I've been putting up Christmas decorations, and I decided this year that I wanted to create some Christmas stockings of my own. So I found some cute fabric at Joann's last weekend, and then I found this really easy tutorial on Pinterest on how to make stockings. I'll make sure and leave a link to directions that I found on Pinterest. So here's the fabric that I got from Joann's. I found this really cute Lilo and Stitch fabric, and then I also found this white fabric. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but the fabric has like little white Christmas trees on it. I decided to get this fabric because I have two German Shepherds and their names are Lilo and Stitch, so I decided that I would make them stockings and I would use this fabric since, you know, it matches their name. And then I had to print out this PDF of the stocking. I found it on the blog that was on Pinterest, so I'm just going to cut this out, tape it together, and that's going to help me when cutting my fabric for the stockings. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I know it's kind of hard to see, my printer is running out of ink, but I'm going to cut out the different pieces of the stocking and assemble them together. Okay, so I have all the pieces cut out. Now this is where the tricky part is, because now you have to, it's like a puzzle almost. So I'm going to take out some tape and I'm going to tape them together. Okay, so each piece is labeled. So this one says stocking top, so I'm assuming that goes on top. And then here it says stocking heel and stocking toe. I believe it goes like that, so I'm going to line it up. I have this stocking middle. So I'm making these stockings for my two German Shepherds, and if anyone has German Shepherds, then you know how badly they shed, and when I'm tearing off this tape there is tons and tons of dog hair attached to it, which I don't even know how that happened, but you find dog hair literally everywhere. Okay, so it's all attached and assembled. That wasn't too bad. So now I'm going to use this stencil basically to cut the fabric, and then you're also going to need batting too. So I'm going to use the stencil to cut the batting and also to cut the fabric. Okay, so you're going to need two pieces of the batting for the stocking. So I just folded my piece of batting in half, and then I'm going to cut around this stencil. I just realized I'm using my crappy scissors, so I'm going to use my heavy-duty fabric scissors instead. To help kind of keep it in place, I'm just going to put some of these little plastic clips on. Okay, so I finished cutting out the two pieces of batting for my stocking, so you should have two pieces. I'm going to use this outline again, and I'm going to cut the fabric this time. So I'm done with both my fabric and my batting. So now the next step that you have to do is you're going to take your two pieces of fabric and you're going to place them together, right sides together, and then you're going to place one of the battings on top, and then the other batting's gonna go on the bottom. Once you have them together, I'm just going to use these little plastic clips and I'm going to just pin them around the edges, just to help keep it in place so while I'm sewing, it doesn't move around. Okay, so now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around, and then I'm going to make sure and leave this top part open. Okay, so I'm done sewing around the stocking. So what I'm going to do now is turn it right side out. Poke the edges out, and then I'm going to press the stocking now. The next part I need to do is place the fabric to go inside of the stocking. I forgot to cut my inside fabric, so I'm going to do that now. Then I'm going to place it inside of the stocking. I'm going to place my lining fabric right sides together, and then I'm also going to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then this will go inside of the stocking. So I'm going to leave this lining fabric face sides together. I'm not going to turn it right side out. I'm just going to take this piece of fabric now and place it on the inside of the stocking. And then I'm going to make sure that the lining fabric matches to the edge of the outside fabric. And then I'm going to pin them together. My next step to making the stocking is I need to do a cuff for the top of the stocking. So I'm going to cut some more of the white fabric, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. So for the cuff, I need to cut a 16 by 9 inch piece of fabric. So I'm going to cut 9 inches of this. I'm also going to need to cut a 16 by 4.5 inch rectangle for the cuff as well. So I cut out a 16 by 9.5 inch rectangle of my fabric. I'm going to flip that over so the right sides are facing the bottom. And I also had to cut a 16 by 4.5 inch piece of batting. I'm going to go ahead and line that up to the edge of there. And now I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew the edges. I'm going to flip over my fabric so it makes like a square almost, and I'm going to sew these two edges together. Okay, and now I'm going to fold the cuff over the batting like this. This is probably the hardest part of the whole stocking, just trying to flip this fabric over. I'm going to put the cuff inside of the stocking. I'm going to make sure and do the raw edges, touching the raw edges on this stocking. And then I'm just going to pin them in place. I feel like the hardest part of this whole making this stocking is the cuff, but I think I got it. Okay, so on the Etsy post, it did call for you to use ribbon as a little hook so you could hang up the stocking. However, I don't have any ribbon, so I'm going to take a piece of scrap and I'm just going to go ahead and sew it along the edge, and then I'm going to use that as my hook. And then I'm going to place, I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half like this. And then I'm going to stick this piece in between the cuff and the stocking. Okay, and I put it at the corner of the stocking so it can hang from there. So I actually messed up. So this, I accidentally sewed the wrong way. So I'm actually gonna have to undo this, and you're going to want the hook to be facing inside of the stocking. So this is wrong. I had a little hole right there. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this into the stocking since I messed up. Now you want the cut edges to match up with these edges. Okay, so my edges are all sewn. The hook is sewn inside of the stocking, and now you're going to pull out your cuff and you're going to fold it over. And there you can see your hook. And then I would just go and press the edges of the cuff, but not too bad, I must say. I would get ribbon, or I would cut this piece a little bit bigger and fold these edges inward, and then you can have a nice seam instead of how mine is. I'm not too worried about it because, again, this is my first one, and I'm making it for my dogs, so I'm not too worried. So there is my finished stocking. For my very first one, not too bad. There would definitely be some changes I would make, but overall for my first stocking, I think it came out pretty good. All right, well, thank you guys for watching me make my very first stocking. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more sewing videos and quilting videos, please subscribe to my channel. I am going to be making a whole lot more of these stockings, so if you guys want to see more of the different stockings I make sure to follow my Instagram, and I have that down in the description below. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.